Michael Keaton returns as Batman in The Flash, but will you, Keat, find out in my review for The Flash. Hi, I'm Matt with State of Flux, but before I talk to you about The Flash, I'd like to talk to you about Wandering Witch Publishing. One of my friends started a publishing company. Wandering Witch is a space for growth where imaginative thinkers come together to challenge perspectives by engaging with counterculture through magical realism and real magicalism. This is an alternative publishing source to get your short stories, your poems, your novels published. Or if you're a consumer and like to read short stories, poems, and novels, this is an excellent alternative publishing house to read from. But they need your help. In my description box down below, you will find a web link to their website as well as their GoFundMe page, and you can help contribute to their success and help get this upstart company up and started. But moving on to The Flash, this is a movie that I like. However, of the multiversal event films, this is probably my least favorite of the bunch. Now, with that being said, you're coming off of two exceptional Spider-Verse movies in the animated world. You're coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home, which brought back every incarnation of Spider-Man, the big screen ones anyway. And you're coming off of Multiverse of Madness, which I really happen to like. The juxtaposition of horror and action and stuff like that. This one works, but definitely a little less so. And I would like to get into the minutia of why that is, but this is my non-spoiler review, so I can't really get too far into the details. I'll just say this. Whereas in Spider-Man No Way Home, which I think is the easiest film to compare this one to, you are introduced to the other Spider-Men and you're given within them a narrative through line that helps amplify who Peter Parker is, but also continues the growth of their individual characters, the Tobys and the Andrew Garfield ones. You got that firm growth and continuation and almost payoffs to their previous storylines, whereas this just seems to utilize the Michael Keaton Batman's return rather than do much with it. It doesn't necessarily further his growth or really add much in the way that the film offers. However, I have to be honest, his scenes are magnetic. He is given ample opportunity to be the scene stealer of the movie. However, he was not my favorite character. My favorite character in this goes to the return of Ben Affleck's Batman. They got him right on so many levels. His opening action beat and him being the gung-ho superhero rushing in to save the day is very much in line with who Batman is and the way we've seen him kind of represented at the back half of Batman vs. Superman and in both incarnations of Justice League. But then they get the more philosophical components to Bruce Wayne correctly in the quieter scenes. And it's that really appealed to me. He has my favorite non-payoff scene, if you will, of the movie, where it's the scene in the trailer where he's leaning against the car and he's talking to Barry about scars, and that speech is beautiful and it's profound wisdom. And his Batman really truly amplifies that within Barry that makes Barry kind of work and tick, and the ultimate lesson that he has to come to understand. And that's where it differs from No Way Home. In the way that this story plays out, I think is much more successful in that film than in this film. But this film offers a lot of cool stuff. Supergirl is also a scene stealer. I mentioned that she is great. I like her, the way they did her. She's very similar to Henry Cavill's Superman. This is just the Snyder version of Supergirl, if you will. It really works. I love her costume. I like how she plays it. They could have utilized her a little differently, and that's something, again, I will talk about more in the spoiler review that should be up on Monday. But she really worked for me. It was nice seeing Zod. This film is plethora of Easter eggs that you're all going to come to enjoy. But notice the one thing I'm not talking about too heavily is the Barry Allen of it all, which is weird because there's two of them. Ezra Miller plays this role great, both incarnations of Barry. They are gifted at delivering the humor and the drama and whatnot, but it was almost as if the screenwriters were afraid that Barry couldn't sustain his own movie, so they wrote a movie where it's Batman City. Like, Batman gets all the cool action beats. If not Batman, it's Supergirl. Barry, as the Flash, doesn't get a lot of the great moments, or if he does, it's as he's flitting through walls. As I mentioned, Ezra Miller gives a really good performance. I know they are a person that is controversial, to say the least, but just strictly looking at performance work, I think they did a good job in both roles. So I guess that's all I'll say about that. I liked the film. I wasn't in love with it. I do give it 3 stars. I can see how people are going to love it, and I can also see and foresee on almost a Last Jedi level how people are going to despise it. And I guess where I'm going to leave you off with is this. You will respond to this movie how you responded to the theatrical cut, the Josstice cut of Justice League. This seems closest in tone to that film than it does with any other in the DCEU. And I don't hate the theatrical cut of Justice League. I think it gets a lot of things right. It's easy to point out the things that don't work. Bad CGI, humor that doesn't always land, an annoying Barry Allen character. All of those things are also present in this film. But the things that are often overlooked are the weightier dramatic moments. And that stuff that was present in the theatrical cut of Justice League really worked for me and made me appreciate that movie more than your average bear. And that's kind of where I land with this one. I'm excited to do a spoiler review, so tune back in later in the week and we will discuss that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of in a non-spoiler fashion in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.